Hello, welcome to a work together. I recently took pictures of my daughter and I wanted to create just a really quick brag book that I could throw in my purse. Um, Very simple, nothing too fancy, and I wanted it to just showcase the pictures. And I thought it would be a really nice thing to share with you guys in case you wanted just to throw together a really quick little brag book. Um, and it's really simple. It's very easy. You can make it as thick as you want to or as thin as you want to for however many pictures you have. So anyways, this is it. This is the book. It has a clear cover. I just gave it just for a little bit just because I'm going to put it in my purse, so I want this top picture protected a little bit. If I'd had a sturdier um, acetate, I would have used that, so I would recommend using a piece of acetate instead of what I use, but I will show you what I used because I needed it right away and I didn't want to wait for acetate anyways. So all I used is acetate and cardstock, or not acetate, this is a page protector, and then the cardstock to put it together, and then the pictures are in it. And you can see it's basic, it's very simple. It's just the pictures in a little brag book form. And I'm going to make a little box that I could put this into, and then if you wanted to go more elaborate, you could put just a cover on it that was more decorative. Instead of having this, you could just put a cover and then decorate the cover if you wanted to. You could really do whatever you wanted with this to make it what you want. But I'm going to show you the basics of how I put it together because it was so simple and maybe you want to give it a go. It's nice and thin. And this is with all the pictures in it, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 pages in mine, so that means I have, I think, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, I have 11 pictures in mine. But as I stated earlier, you can put as many pages as you want to. You make it as thick as you want to. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. You also could make it to be sized whatever size you want. I made mine for 4x6, so I did not have to cut anything down. Okay, let's go ahead. All you need is the cardstock, and if you want to use a plastic cover, the acetate that you're going to use for the cover. And that's the essentials. Anything else that you want is just whatever you want to make it look pretty, I guess. So to start off, what I did is I took my 8.5 by 11 paper and I cut it down. I got 2 pages from one sheet. I cut it to 4.25 by 6.25, and these are the leftovers, and I want you to keep those as well because those are what we're going to use to put the book together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a quick 4-page one for you, and then you also, oh, sorry about that. You also are going to have a long piece left from each page too. Keep that because you can use that to create your spine if you want to. Okay, so like I said, I have 4 pages here. I'm just going to go ahead and create a 3 to 4 page, depending on how quickly they go. So you're going to start off by taking your scrap piece here, and you're going to fold it in half. And you'll notice I'm not pre-scoring and I'm not measuring because I want this to be a really fast project. So I'm just going to fold it, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in my trimmer at my 3/4 with the fold at my 3/4 mark. Okay. So I'm just going to fold up all of my hinges real quick. Excuse my sniffling, I'm sorry. I have allergies and they are really, really bad. Alrighty. You'll notice I haven't been making a lot of videos, and I haven't been sharing too much lately. I'm trying to get back into the swing of making videos. I keep getting negative comments on things that don't have anything to do with my video. And so it's kind of discouraging. But I decided I'm just going to look past it. And keep making videos because I love doing it. Okay. I have 4 hinges. And while you have your paper trimmer out, if you want to go ahead and cut your acetate, you can. I have already cut my page protector, and I am using, it's just a cut up, it's a page protector that I cut to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I'm actually going to use both sides of it, so I just kept the fold on there. This is the fold from the one side, and I just cut on the other side so that I would still have 2 sheets of it. And I'll show you why I do that in a minute. Alright. So now to get started, start to put your book together, what you're going to do is take your first page, take a strip of adhesive, run it along the side. Now if I was making this to keep, I'm just going to make this one and it probably won't become something, so I'm not going to use a lot of adhesive, but if I was making this to keep, I would apply adhesive to the edge of this side as well so that I know it's stuck down really good. But I'm just going to put some there. So just make sure that you stick yours really well. Okay. And then stick your folded edge right up to the edge of your paper. Alright. Then you're going to flip it over with the hinge that you just put on there is down. You're going to go ahead, put a little bit of adhesive, and then you're going to line up your next hinge just like so. Okay, and then you're going to take and put a little bit of adhesive there, or not a little bit, but enough to stick it down. Then you're going to take your next page, and here's what I do. I line it up at the edge here. Just line up the corners, and then I kind of push it out that way because it doesn't matter if this side lines up as well. Sometimes I cut my cuts just a little bit off, so if this part's over, it's going to be covered by the spine anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Then we're going to go ahead and put another bit of adhesive there. You're going to take another hinge, stick it on there, line it up, and make sure it's stuck down, just like so. And then we're going to apply adhesive to that part. Take another page, again line up your corners at the bottom, and stick it down. Okay, so now there we have 3 pages already, so you can see once you cut out the pieces, you can just see how quickly this goes. And then we're going to put the last hinge on, and this is going to be for our back cover. And just like that. And then our adhesive there again. And then we take our last page, line up your corners again, hold the corners, and then stick it down. Just like that. Okay, and there we have the start. You know, that's essentially your book. And that's why you see you can add as many pages as you want to. Make it as thin or as thick as you want to. And it's a good way to share your photographs because they're already in a little book. Alright, at this point, now I'm going to go ahead and add the page protector part that I had on mine. Okay. If you're using acetate, you're going to do a little bit differently, but I'm going to go ahead. This is my front flap, okay? I'm going to flip it down, and I want to apply my adhesive to this. And you want to make sure that you use a good amount of adhesive. You want it to stick down. And then I'm going to open up my page protector, and I'm going to slide the bottom part of it right in to there. Just kind of line up your your back corners again, essentially. Of course, when I put together my first one, I did not have this much trouble with it. It went on there and it closed up good and easy. This one is seeming to want to stick. Okay. So once you have it down there, why are you fighting with me? Okay. There we go. Then you adhere that one. Then you're going to take and put adhesive up here. Obviously, you would use the right amount. And then press those down. Make sure they're nice and attached. And then you have your book with your nice plastic cover. And if you're using acetate, then it's going to have a really nice plastic cover. And then we want to cover these because we don't want this to show. So you're going to take this scrap here and you're going to cut it to 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Okay. And then for my book, I punched the edge with a decorative punch, a decorative die cut. I think that's a Tim Holtz die. Yep, here it is right here. Tim Holtz, it has this wavy one, and then it has this other one, which I never use, but anyways, I just used that one and punched it out to cover that. But for this one, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it on there. And then, so this is how I did it. I'm going to put my adhesive on there right to the edge, and then I'm also going to put it on here right to the edge. If you decorative punched yours, put the adhesive as best you can to the edge because you want it to be completely stuck to your plastic, whatever plastic you used. And then adhere it down really well. Open it up, make sure it opens, and it does. Okay, and then what I did is I just flipped my book upside down, and then I sort of rolled it. Now, you don't want to roll it too tight, especially if you have not put your pictures in yet, because it is going to get bigger once you put your pictures in. So you want to give it that room to get bigger. I waited to put mine on until my photos were in there because it gets thicker. I know it doesn't seem like a lot to add that many pictures, but even if you have, like, especially if you have a really big one and you're putting a lot of pictures, it's going to get thicker. So wait until you have your pictures in, or just make sure that you give yourself a good amount of room. And then once you do that, what you're going to do, flip it over, put your adhesive on, and stick it down just like that. And then if you didn't use acetate, or even if you did, chances are it's going to want to pull itself back up. I like to just run my bone folder along the edge to help it fold, which kind of helps it a little bit. And then also, after I've made it, I will put something heavy on this for a while. You can see this one's still doing it because I just made this book. When it's like this, it's still pulling up because there's no weight to this page, so it's still going to pull it up a little bit. But for me, it doesn't really bother me. If it bothers you, then you definitely don't want to use this because it will pull up. Let's see if I can show you. There we go. It bulges. And also laying it flat and putting something heavy on it will help too. Anyways, there's your photo album. If you liked it, I hope you give it a shot. If you have any questions on how to make this one, feel free to email me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I hope you all have a great day, and I will be back again soon with another project.